jolly good afternoon to you from a warm and sunny afternoon here in Tirana in Albania. And if you saw my previous video, which I made from a day trip to Tirana, I vowed then that I would have to come back to this city because frankly 6 hours walking around simply isn't enough. So here I am back for another go to have a little look at this fine Balkan state city that is, well, best described as a work in progress after many years of being a closed country. Of course, Albania is open for business, open for tourism, and there's one or two growing pains along the way, I fear. So there's going to be two videos from this little trip. One is just going to be a general mill around, see what's going on here in Tirana. And I'm going to do another one tomorrow. Hopefully, all being well, there is a potential for not being able to do it. So I'll say now that I am, but if it doesn't appear, you know why. We don't know why, but I'll tell you if it doesn't appear. A trip to the coast, to the seaside resort of Durrës, which is on the Adriatic. So I'm really looking forward to that. But that's going to be a full day's worth tomorrow. So anyway, so I'm just having a little wander around here in the square to just go and find a bank actually in a moment. Just on a Google search for a bank, get some of the local paper so I can buy myself one or two bits and pieces as I move around. I think euros are reasonably widely accepted here, but you probably get the change in Albanian money anyway, so you might as well just have some in the first place. Keep your euros for when you go to your Euroland. Anyway, let's go. So I was warned against doing any exchanges at the airport. A brief look at the exchange office in the arrivals hall, and I have to say it didn't look like a good exchange rate at all. You're probably unlikely to find anywhere that will exchange money for you with no charges. Looks to me somewhere in the region of about 500 lek, which is €5 to change money. So make it a fairly reasonable amount that you do, and then that won't be a large proportion of your exchange. I'm not really here too long anyway to make it worthwhile changing a lot of money, so I'm just going to grab myself about £50 worth, just get going, see what happens, and if needs be resort to contactless. So right, should be down here somewhere. One thing worth mentioning, this is of course very close to Greece. It is October. The weather in Greece and this part of Europe does start to break a little bit this time of year, but it's an absolutely glorious day here. I do understand that tomorrow there will be a bit of rain. That's not going to stop matters. I'll still go to Durrës even if it's pouring with rain, because I'm very keen to have a little look around, but there is a potential problem apparently with transportation tomorrow that I've heard, if I'm understanding it correctly. I possibly am not. The traffic here in Tirana is absolutely chaotic. It's not on the level of somewhere like Bangkok, but it's as I say, this city has got growing pains for being opened up to the rest of the world to come and visit here. The airport is struggling, I think, as well, but I'm sure they'll work their way through it in the fullness of time and get everything as it should be. But it's certainly a very interesting place, even if maybe some of the locals do still look a bit bemused as to what's happened to their country and their city. The nice park just there, I think that's where the bus station is actually, just over there. Or I might have lost my bearings slightly on that. It's quite easy to here. Yeah, one thing you definitely probably don't want to be doing here is hiring a car and then driving it into the city. I believe getting around Albania itself once you're outside of Tirana is not too bad, and but trying to find somewhere to park here and just getting around in general falls into the category of a bit of a nightmare, mate. Just sort of just ambling down some of the side streets at the moment, seeing what I can find. Fancy something to eat, actually. There's plenty of kind of kebabs and what have you, the usual array of fast food stalls as well, fast food outlets, American ones, which I'm trying to avoid, obviously. You soon, when you get off the main shopping streets and main drag, you soon go into some quite quiet little side roads. So just went into a neighbourhood supermarket. Not a wild choice in there, but it had what I was after, which was a few little snacks and some drinks and bits and pieces for the road tomorrow when I head off to Durrës, which isn't far away, incidentally. It's not a great big journey. It's about 45 minutes on the bus, maybe an hour if you include getting to the bus, which seems to be located on the outskirts of the city, the bus station. However, I think I've taken the wrong turn in here, just for a change. Yeah, prices, I suppose, are a little bit lower than they would otherwise be in other parts of Europe, in the Eurozone and Britain. But if you want the imported stuff, probably about the same price, to be fair, as you would pay back in the UK for UK products. But that's only to be expected, of course. Right, let's go. Tirana sort of reminds me of Athens in many respects, minus of course the Parthenon and Acropolis and such fine monuments. This part of town seems to have some of the more high-end stores. There's a Pandora there, Swarovski, and one or two others knocking about, and some slightly more high-end restaurants and cafes as well. Well, they look more high-end, let's put it like that. Whether they actually are or not is another matter. But back away out from the side streets now, the traffic's busy again. It's getting towards the end of the working day though at the moment, so I guess it will start to get a little bit busier. Certainly a reasonable selection of imported beers there, should you wish to partake. I'm guessing that's gushing down from those magnificent hills. When you fly into Tirana, you get a fantastic view of the mountains. Police are very busy around here as well. I don't know if they're very naughty, these Albanians, or the police are just very keen. Half a job done there when that tree fell down. The bars and pubs, if you want to call them pubs, seem to fall into about about three or four different categories. Bars that also sell coffee shops that also sell beer, slightly more funky places like the sort of Irish pubs, if you like, and then ones that look almost like they might be slightly dubious late at night. I could not comment, and I won't be able to comment, but there's certainly plenty of choice here if you know the kind of venue you're looking for and the type of experience you're looking for. I imagine a bit of Googling would point you in the right direction. Getting into the post-work snacks and drinks time of the day now. It means that I'll probably go and do the same and get myself something to eat, and possibly call it a day for today unless something else crops up, because it's been quite a long day all in all, and I'll carry on with Durrës tomorrow and continue with Tirana on the next day, the day after. So catch you soon. So just to continue the theme on Tirana. Welcome back, by the way. I've been to Durrës today. That's formed a completely separate video. Just out and about on the streets of Tirana, right downtown in the busy bit. Loads going on. Bars, cafes and so on are absolutely bustling. It's crazy. Took a 5-kilometre bus ride that took best part of an hour earlier on from the north and south bus terminal, I think it's called, back to the centre here. I could have probably walked it quicker, but I was exhausted after walking around in Durrës for the day. So yeah, welcome back. I'm just going to go and get some food now. It's a nice Greek place just down here that I'm going to go and visit, and hopefully some tasty souvlaki. Right, 16 seconds. So good think about the old traffic lights here. They give you a countdown to your death. So make sure you're off the crossing by the time it turns red. Hey, danger. And luckily, got 35 seconds to get across this one. On these ones, they do tend to actually stop. It's the unsignalled crossings that appear to be the biggest issue. It's an interesting city, and at night, I have to say, it does look better than during the day. Some of the slightly tatty bits aren't quite so obvious. But anyway, all that aside, what a great place. I'm going to continue this in the morning. I'm going to go and get something to eat now, as I said, and head off to bed and carry on tomorrow before I head back home. A jolly good morning from a bright, sunny and quite warm Tirana. Just to continue this video that spans over 3 days of this fine, vibrant city here in the Balkans, in Albania, just in case you weren't sure. Yeah, so just checked out of my hotel. I've got a few hours to kill now, about 5 actually, before I head off up to the airport for a return trip back to the UK. And just chatting to the very nice young lady on the reception who informed me of a couple of things. One, that the President or Prime Minister, not quite sure which she said, of Turkey is visiting Albania today, so the traffic in Tirana, roads will be closed, and so on and so forth. He's coming to meet the President of Albania and also be present at the opening of a mosque, one of the largest mosques I'm not sure where she said, in Europe maybe, but certainly it's taken a long time to build it and it's ready to go today. So it's going to cause a certain amount of chaos here in the city apparently. So I'm just aware of that. There's a lot of stuff kind of going on in the square just here at the moment. I'm not sure if that's got anything to do with it. But yeah, I'm just going to keep my eyes peeled, see what happens. And don't suppose I'll get to see the President of Albania or Turkey. But they're going to be about here somewhere. But having spoken to the people who run the airport bus services, they're saying that they're still operating as normal from the usual spot, but we shall see. The other thing, of course, while we're on the subject of flying in and out of Tirana airport, do allow plenty of time, first of all. Secondly, they don't have digital boarding cards in operation at this time, so you need to print one off. So if, like me, you were only able to check in for your flight 24 hours before I was already here, then you will have to find somewhere to get that done. If you're staying at an Airbnb, it might be slightly problematic, but I'm sure if you ask around you'll be able to find someone to let you know where you can get that done. Hotel reception that I was in today did it without question, no problem at all. Thank you very much. So I think it also depends on your airline. In my particular case, Wizz Air, I understand that you can get your boarding card printed at the airport, but of course that does then involve you having to queue to go and check in, so to speak, even though if you had a boarding card already you wouldn't need to check in, so that could delay you. As for Ryanair, your guess is as good as mine, but I think their policy of charging you to print a boarding card at the airport for €50 or whatever it is very possibly still in place. Right, so certainly a lot's being set up here in the centre. Looks more of a sort of a market really, or interesting. Anyway, I'm going to go for a little stroll. I'm going to go to the Tirana Park, which is really nice. Have a little wander around there. There's a few cafes and so on that I'm going to pop in, get a coffee, late breakfast, early lunch is what I'm trying to say, and then amble around for a while, come back here before I head back to the airport. Let's go. Very vibrant and busy down here this morning. Lots of tour groups. So this is where they meet up, I do believe. We're sort of near the park where the central bus station is. and the plaza there with the opera. It's a very nice area actually. And if you want to go on a walking tour around Tirana, it's a very walkable city, unless you're specifically need to get somewhere of a reasonable distance by bus, then I would not bother with the buses. Quite honestly, yesterday I was on a bus for well over an hour, just for a few kilometres through the crazy traffic, out to the bus station that does the long distance buses. And you can't, well, I'll say you can't walk it. You probably can walk it, but it wouldn't be a very pleasant walk, put it like that. So anyway, chilled out on the bus for an hour or so while chaos reigned all around. See, the local police are all suited and booted today, presumably told to put their best clothes on, best uniform on, and have it sparkling, as they've got a foreign dignitary arriving, and the President of Albania will be knocking about soon too. Just going to go and check out the situation with the buses, although I'm not saying I disbelieve the lady that I spoke to on the phone this morning, but I just want to double check that everything appears to be operating as normal for when I want to head back to the airport later on. Just had a quick chat with one of the bus drivers whose command of English was about on the same level as my command of Albanian. However, I think we did establish that the buses will still be running from here. That's one of them there, and it's a fairly insignificant looking kind of bus station. They don't seem to think there'll be an issue with roads closed, although they did say the motorway would be closed. And anyway, I'm going to allow an extra hour to get up there. Don't want any dramas later on. Very, very, very pleasant morning, especially for October. It was a bit unsettled down on the coast yesterday, but I suspect down on the coast today will be a bit like this and a lot nicer. So I'm just going to take a wander towards the Tirana Park. I'm just going to have to double back on myself for a few minutes, back across the plaza and head off in that direction. Should have started here really, but there you go. The one thing I think somewhere like Tirana really needs is a metro. I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon, and very possibly some way of organising the roads to give priority to public transport and disincentivise people to use their cars here in the centre, because it's chaotic. It's not too bad right at the moment, but there are certain roads in and out of the city that do seem to be perpetually chock-a-block. And yeah, I mean, it's the same with many cities, but I think Albania certainly has not been able to keep pace with the fast development of the country since it came out of communism around about early 90s, wasn't it? So it's a good few years now, but gradually over the years more and more people have decided to come here and see what it's like, and it is causing a little bit of an issue. So always bear that in mind if you're planning to get around the city. Allow plenty of time. As far as I can tell, there doesn't appear to be Uber here. If there's any of the others, I've not tried, to be fair. I've certainly not seen them advertised. And here we got the Vodafone ladies trying to sell me a Vodafone SIM. Never mind. Right, just here we have Rinia Park and the Independence Memorial. There's like quite a little, nice little water feature down there. It's pretty much a straight line along this road out towards the park. So I don't know what they were saying to me then, but yeah. Nice park actually. It was a very nice place to sit down and grab some breakfast or a coffee just over there. Almost feels like there should be a Crazy Golf just in this section, but they've forgot to put the actual Crazy Golf in. I wonder if they even know what Crazy Golf is here. It's a strange feature with no sort of obvious footpath, defined footpath to get to it. You sort of have to walk across the grass, and it's kind of created a footpath. Great little stall here actually. I've stopped at it once before. We'll possibly call in there later on, but the last time I came, I was just walking back down this road here and thinking, oh yeah, slice of pizza and a donut. Slice of pizza, 150 lek, which is about €1.50, £1.40, $1.60. And a donut's 50 lek, so 40p. Very good value and very tasty too. The only problem was last time I think I came at the it must have been probably the end of the school day and had a queue around the corner of students, so I didn't have time. I had to get back to the bus station. I will make sure I've got time today. Everyone's looking very smart, all the officials here today. You can tell sort of if the lady on the reception hadn't given me the heads up on what was going on, I certainly would have been wondering what was happening. These are the ATMs to use, the ones at the proper banks, and just along this section here you've got all the main banks. You've even got a guy with a rifle outside one of them. So yeah, something's about to happen. Just been sorry about that. I just got accosted by someone trying to ask me what's going on. A lot of security guards, a lot of police about. Everyone on high alert. Just going to take a little detour around the back street here and get back onto that main road. For all I know, I could be near the Turkish embassy. I've got absolutely no idea. There's certainly quite a lot of Albanian government buildings around this area. There's the International Turkish Hospital. But I don't suppose the President of Turkey will be visiting that. Unless he tried too much raki. Then again, I don't suppose he drinks raki, does he? Or does he? Heck of a lot of police up here as well. This is interesting in its own right. See where I can walk to, see if I get told off for filming, see if they let me go a particular way or not. A lot of people just hanging around in suits and ties, so I suspect something's going to happen fairly soon. Just heard the Turkish president's name mentioned then, or at least whatever it was, and in whatever language they were speaking in, it certainly sounded like it. Fairly light touch by the police, I have to say. They're very quite charming and polite about it, but you ain't going along that main road I was walking along, so just have to stick to the one that runs parallel down here, I think. When you say the light touch, if you decided to ignore them, maybe they wouldn't be quite so light touch. I can go this way. Funny if I was trapped in a little bubble. No, I think I can get out, just can't get in. Boulevard Deshmorit Kombit. That was the boulevard, the main boulevard that that I was walking down, and I've been politely but firmly steered away from, as has everybody else. And now I'm walking on a road completely parallel to that, which seems to be okay. And this leads to the park as well, just a different, slightly different entry point to it. Jack Daniel. Didn't know Jack Daniel's first name was actually Jasper. I suppose you've been necking it all night long, that's probably all you can say, isn't it? Jasper. Road running parallels, taking the brunt of the traffic, so it's not normally quite this busy down here. It's not actually too bad right at this moment in time, but again there's a lot of people with suits and ties hanging about. I'm guessing that's someone important. Lots of sirens going off here, there and everywhere. Lots of roadblocks, roads closed. General sort of chaos ensuing. But a massive indifference, I would say, from the local population, who don't seem in the slightest bit bothered by it, maybe inconvenienced by it. Looking like the road up there is now open, although off to the left there it's clearly still sealed off. But here's the park. I'll take a little stroll around here today, see what's happening, see if I can find the little cafe. Statue of Frederick Chopin just over there. Thought I was back in Poland for a minute. It's a lovely park, this, actually. Last time I came, the weather wasn't quite as nice as this. It was February, I think. But even then, even in February, there's a lake, an artificial lake, and people were sat by that at a cafe bar, drinking cool beers. So I'll give you an indication as to what the weather was like. But today is another level completely, and it's October, though there is a promise of the odd thunderstorm and a bit of rain later on, apparently. Like all city parks, you still get that sound of the city whirring away in the background. Well, this is a tranquil paradise in comparison to being down there. Coming up to the German soldiers' cemetery here, I believe, according to Google Maps anyway. follow the walking trail to a beauty spot as defined by Google, so we'll reserve judgment till we get there. If it's like the one yesterday in Durres, then it won't be a beauty spot. There's the lake just over there. I'm going to be kind of walking around it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to walk all the way around it. So here's the Commonwealth War graves. This is not the German one then. This will be British and other Commonwealth soldiers who lost their life during the Second World War. The men in whose memory these headstones have been erected gave their lives in Albania and are buried near this spot. Their glory shall not be blotted out. And it has got a series of names on there, all British names, and the regiments and so on all appear to be British regiments. I cannot see any from the rest of the Commonwealth. Although there is one there from Canada. I can see one from Canada. Right. I do believe I may be walking around this park in the opposite direction to the way I walked around it last time. I seem to think we'll come across the Hills Cafe fairly soon, which I think is the one that I'm looking for a little pit stop. I'm not quite sure what this one's regarding, but the year 1942, probably something to do with the Second World War as well. Yeah, this is a great place to sit down for a little while and have a coffee. Got some loos, I think, as well, should the need arise. It's typical of Europe. They are slightly thin on the ground, public toilets, and even more so here in Albania, though in the centre of the city. You can sometimes blag it at a hotel lobby, or there's the shopping mall. If you go up to the top where the food hall is, and yeah, you can usually work it all out. Beautiful walking in here. It's very nice to be in the shade actually, because it's starting to get quite warm now. Just through the trees there's a restaurant that's got a handy children's playground attached to it, which I'm sure is very popular with families, especially as you can sit there, relax, do what you do, and watch your kids playing. There seems to be quite a few people in there. It looks more like grandparents actually, looking after young ones. Same everywhere in the world, isn't it? Grandparents enjoying time with their grandchildren while mum and dad are out grafting at work. Exactly how it should be. I've done my grafting out at work. Very dark clouds lurking about over the hills. Albania is a very mountainous country, and when you fly in you get some absolutely fabulous views of the mountains when you're coming on in. Not quite as close and crazy as it is in some places, but it does feel like you're going to be landing on them, which of course you're absolutely miles away. There's something there that mentions a little train down there. I presume it's one of those ones with wheels rather than a tracks, rubber wheels. We call them trains, but they're not really, are they? I very much doubt that will be operational this time of year anyway. This is a really nice park. The parks in the centre of the city just seem to be, well, they're nice enough, and quite well kept actually, but they just seem to be an area where people that haven't got much to do sit around all day, and not that that's a problem. No one bothers you here. In terms of safety here in Albania, it seems very, very safe to me. I was walking around at night, there didn't seem to be any, although I was of course in busy, well-lit areas, didn't go down any back streets or anything, but yeah, Albanians, they won't come and talk to you unless you go and talk to them, and bear in mind that you're a foreigner in a foreign land, and you're within the tourist bubble most of the time, but all the Albanians that I've spoken to have been absolutely charming, delightful, very helpful and kind. If I lived here, I'm not sure that might be the case. Perhaps not. I'd like to think it would be. There's a nice water fountain here. Everyone seems to be attempting to fill their water bottles up. Sometimes water, just cold, fresh, nice tasting water is absolutely perfect, isn't it, for quenching the thirst rather than soft drinks or pints of beer. Less fun, of course, but that was very refreshing. Now, this is a part of the park I most definitely didn't walk down before. I was somewhat limited to time. I came up here on a day trip to Albania, set off very early in the morning. So it sounds like a lot of bees flying around over there. Don't know if that's picking up on the camera. There are millions in there, wasps or bees. Yeah, came out, got here around about 11 o'clock in the morning. By the time I'd got myself into the city, it was probably 12 o'clock, and then had to head back to the airport at 5. So I got a solid 5 hours of walking around, of which I spent about 2 here in the park. I'm going to spend about 4 hours in the park today. I'm not going to be filming all of it, obviously, but just to have a bit more of a thorough look around, because it really is quite nice. As I say, this section I didn't go down before because of the limited amount of time I had. That's really quite loud. Quite near the far edge of the park now. There's a school in here actually, just over there, or a kindergarten or something. Yeah, school. International School of Tirana. But yeah, near the edge of the park, I can hear the sound of the city over to my left now. So just walk down to this beauty spot area with a little camera on Google Maps and see what it's all about, and then decide the best way to continue. I've pretty much half circled the park, so I'm hoping I can continue in a clockwise direction, but I may have to come back this way. Luckily I have got plenty of time today. Not quite sure why the description of this place comes up in French on my Google Maps. Presumably a French person entered it in, but basically it essentially says the viewing point from the south of the lake. And I can confirm that the sun is directly behind me, and that will, as it's about midday, that will be the south, so geographically speaking. I'm going to stand still for too long just here because there does appear to be one or two mosquitoes buzzing around, and they seem to enjoy me. Must have sweet blood or something. Right, so I'm going to continue on, hopefully in a clockwise direction. Just going to have a quick check with Google Maps, see if we can achieve that without stopping too long and getting drained of blood. This is a nice spot, very peaceful. So, using my tried and trusted technique of just picking out some random spot on the map in the rough direction I wish to walk to, I noticed the La Gaga Club. Heaven knows what that is, but it sounds like the sort of place that won't be open at noon on a Thursday afternoon. But that's where I shall head. Well, let's be sort of walking around the edge of the park now. And slightly backtracking on myself and then taking a right turn just up here, I do believe. I came from that direction, which was a secondary route from that direction there. So there's a footpath and cycle track just within inside the park, and it kind of just follows the road on the outside. Some lovely properties just around this part of Tirana. I'm not quite sure which is the... I think I'm walking on the cycle track. How was I supposed to know? Some sort of embassy building there, residence. Let's go and have a look. The ambassador's residence of the Netherlands. So this is clearly the part of town. That's why the accommodation's so nice. The train is running. It's plenty of people on it as well, if you call those trains. So those what do you even call those? Bikes, not even tandems, are they? What do you call those? I don't know. Well, there's bikes there as well that you can rent, presumably. Bit of noise from traffic nearby, but this is certainly a nice spot to sit and have a spot of lunch or coffee or whatever. Nice and peaceful today as well. So I'm just going to continue round to the more or less where I started. see if things have quietened down in the city. If the President of Turkey has found his way to the Albanian Prime Minister's office, or whatever it is they're doing, and a bit of normality can return. Then I'm going to walk back into the city, finish this video at the shopping mall, where I'm going to go and get myself a spot of lunch and sit down for a while before I head back to the airport. Sound good? Let's go then. Task Force 22. This looks like a fun playground for the kiddies. Not too many about, of course, today. And I'm not sure why the cycle track suddenly turns blue. Maybe it's for racing round. It looks like a kind of a racing track. Won't be doing it today though. So really now I'm just going to carry on around the sort of edge of the park until I come back to where I came in, which is sort of just over there somewhere, and head down to the, I want to say Topkapi Mall. Can't remember the name of it. It's something like that, something similar to that anyway. I know where I mean. It's a sort of a high-end shopping mall with all the usual well-known outlets in there, and a fairly reasonable kind of food court. And it could be somewhere I can while away an hour or so before I go and grab my bus. You can see the mountains that look over this city are really very impressive. I'll just a bit more zoom on that. And they do offer fabulous views as you're flying in. I had someone describe Albania, when you get away from the big centres of population out into the mountains and the villages, has been a little bit like Crete in Greece, where it's like going back in time 100 years, and that's something I would like to investigate more on a future occasion. I definitely will be coming back to this country at some time, and probably will hire a car. Certainly not for driving around in Tirana, because that will be an absolute nightmare, but getting out and about around the country to see what there is and see if I can go back in time 100 years. So in conclusion, on the park, fantastic park, really nice to walk around. Unless you want to do a full circle, don't bother coming over to this far western end, as you're next to a motorway basically. So, and it's a bit noisy, although there, of course you are not, you're on the pathway inside the park, so it's not that bad, but it'd be better up the other end. Let's keep going. Getting thirsty now. Smart bench. Looks like it's seen better days, but I think it's basically a Wi-Fi point with some lighting so you can see what you're doing. Interesting. It's peeled away from the main busy road now, thankfully. Just along this long straight stretch. And peeling off to the left, I think somewhere near that red building, if memory serves me correctly. cafe just here always seems to do quite well, but it's right on the city side of the park. Popular place to meet up by the looks of it, with a nice lake view too. Probably the main entrance point. It's even got a Burger King. To resist the temptation today. Seems to be a place for the old fellas to meet up, play. I'm not sure what they're playing. Looks like some maybe dominoes, something similar, something that they can argue about. And yeah, it's dominoes, isn't it? Yeah. Wish you could sit outside playing dominoes in Britain in October. Well, you can some days, but most days you can't. So, out the park now, back to the relative chaos of the city. Hopefully, there you go, bib bib. Actually went in the park just over that way and walked up this road. The busy main road just over to my right. I'm not sure if that's still sealed off or not. It may well be. I'm going to carry on back down this way towards the shopping mall. Still seems to be the same situation as earlier on. I need to go over, just over in that, generally in that direction, but nobody's allowed to go that way, so I'm probably going to have to do the long route round. It's causing a certain amount of chaos around here with cars not really sure where they want to go to, especially if they're relying on sat navs. Heaven knows what's going on here. I'm peeping through this gate. It's like a nice villa, but I don't know, it must be something significant about it. Whoever lives there is not going to love that, are they? Well, here I am back in the centre of Tirana. I'm going to go off and get a drink and some lunch in a moment, and then just chill out for a little while till it's time to go back to the airport. What do I think of Tirana and Albania? Well, I'm glad I came back for a second time and got myself down to Bunk'Art. You can see the video on that, and had a more thorough look around the city here. I think Albania is an up-and-coming gem of a place, and it's still relatively inexpensive, although it's probably not quite as cheap, let's say, as you think it might be. But it's certainly very good value for money, especially eating out. Now, my next trip here, I'm hoping will be for a little bit longer, and I'll hire a car, not bother with Tirana at all, because you don't really want to be driving a car around here unless you absolutely have to, and head out into the countryside and see what this fine country has got to offer. So that's it from me. If I see anything of major interest, or I'm invited to afternoon tea with the President of Turkey, then I'll add some more on later on. But that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, click like, subscribe, yellow bell, all that kind of stuff, you know the drill. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now. Bye.